What is the state of Star Citizen in Q3 2024 Alpha 3.24.1? What's not working, what is working, and what to expect from the next few months? I've been playing this game for 7 years on multiple accounts. I run a mid-sized org, a large Discord, and create content regularly. I'm a supporter of the game. I won't go so far as to say I'm a white knight for it, but I defend it when people are being overly toxic or trolly about it. But it's not in the best state right now. So there's some good and there's some bad. These are my top picks for things to avoid, things that are working great, and where it's going to go soon. For starters, there's a lot of missions that I would avoid right now. Reputation is something that can be lost in the game. They turned this on a little too soon, in my opinion. Too many missions fail due to bugs or just outright not working. And so if you take the mission and nothing spawns or nothing functions, you're going to lose reputation and eventually credits to something that's not your fault. So avoid Crusader rooftop missions, all of the kind of clear hostiles from all of those Orison rooftop and platform missions. Most of the settlements, the named settlements around, say, Microtech, like Dumburo, typically do not spawn hostiles. They might, but in rare cases. Usually they're not. I would just avoid them entirely, despite how fun they are. Reclaimer salvage. Nothing to do with reputation, but with no opening cargo door, a very slow, small elevator, and no auto selling unless it's off the very small, incomplete grid, you are better off taking out a couple of vultures, which I'll talk about after. I would avoid it at the moment unless you really just love using the ship. Player bounties are broken for most. They just won't pop up. If they do pop up, they're not tracking properly. I have heard some people say they're working for them. Use at your own discretion. I've had not a single player bounty available to me in 3 months, 4 months minimum. Conflict beacons are simply not working and not popping up. This also goes for missions like boarding the 890, boarding action in progress. Take the mission, no marker will show up, so taking it'll ruin your rep there. A lot of those they just won't spawn, so I'd avoid them. Cargo delivery to any of the mining or salvage sites like Brio's Breaker Yard or like scrap yards or any of the HDMS or R-Corp mining area sites. The elevators just won't work or receive them. Again, I've heard reports of them working for some people. It's very rare. It typically doesn't work. You'll start the mission, you'll get there, you can't do a thing about it. I would just avoid entirely. There are other small things. Party markers aren't working for a lot of people. Chat isn't working for a lot of people. Transferring credits is being a little bit weird. Sharing missions is being a little bit weird. So play at your own discretion. I love the project. I've been playing for a long time. I will continue to test and play in live, PTU, and Evocati. But if you're new to the game, it might not be the best time to join in. What is working, or what is still really fun right now? Most bunkers and distribution center missions. So mercenary missions to go clear the site or find a single target seem to be working pretty well. They have their bugs, sometimes there's issues, but they're very stable. They pay well. They're a great way to get loot to sell. They're fun with friends. They're kind of a standard. Most evict hostels crash sites, evict illegal occupants, those do work. There's an issue right now where almost every single one spawns hostile ships, like one or more. Those are meant to be starter missions for newer people in like a cutter or an Avenger, and they're very tricky right now because typically if you get out of your ship, you will be attacked. So run a little heavy on those, but they are working and they can be a lot of fun. Group or solo vulture salvage. I used to be a reclaimer guy. I've switched to the vulture. It's much more reliable right now. You get 3 vultures, or 2 vultures more realistically, plus a cargo ship like a C1 or bigger with 2 people in that, a pilot and a tractor beam operator. You can make more money faster than you can with the reclaimer in the current build. We've been doing it a lot as a group. It's really fun. Anybody who wants to fly with us, there's a link in my bio for joining our Discord and eventually joining our org. We're always looking for guys to come join us for stuff like that in security or salvage or cargo. NPC bounties are working just fine. I find them less fun with some of the changes in master modes currently. Distribution of weapon ammunition, whether that's ballistic or your distributor for energy ammo. I just find combat in ships less fun right now. I know I'm not the only one. but the missions themselves do work, and if you go with a couple of friends, they're still quite fun. I just avoid them solo right now because I find them tedious and slow. 50% of the investigation missions, that's a rough count in my own head, seem to be working fine. If you go to a distribution center or a crash site looking for a body, if you look hard enough, you'll typically find it. Sometimes they break, sometimes they don't spawn. There's all kinds of things that can go wrong with missions like that, but they are a change of pace. If you want to just kind of do something more exploration based, there's usually not hostiles, with the exception of the ones that spawn at Sakura-sun Goldenrod on Microtech, that for some reason has unlimited spawning enemies, which is also fun if you're looking for that. Racing missions work fine. Player rescue beacons typically work fine. Occasionally the beacon appears in space in a random spot, but usually they're pretty good. There are other missions, there are other things to do in Star Citizen, but those are kind of the top broken and top working to my eye right now. There is still stuff to do. It can get a little repetitive at the moment because so many things are broken. So what to expect for the next few months? We're going into CitizenCon, followed by IAE. It's a really big time of year, October, November, December for Star Citizen. They're still trying to push 4.0 for end of the year. They're still trying to get server meshing done. There's tests going on right now for dynamic server meshing and, static server meshing, and 1,000 pop servers, 2,000 pop servers. It's a really exciting time if you read between the lines. They've made it clear they're not trying to fix bugs or stability really anymore until all the features are in. It's about features, meshing, more ships, 4.0. Basically, they've been telling us for a while to just buckle up for some rough times for playing in this alpha playtest because they're trying to get it done. So as opposed to worrying about making it perfectly playable right now, they're basically saying, look, read the disclaimer. It's an alpha. It's a tech demo. It's about getting all the new features and content in and then worrying about fixing them so they work well together. So I'm not saying this to White Knight defend CIG. I find it really frustrating to play right now. There's some changes that I've seen in 2.24.2 Evocati that I'm not going to speculate on in this video because, they'll probably change, but there's some things going on that I'm really not a fan of. But for now, we kind of have to let them cook. They are trying to get the features in, and if you look past the bugs and the unstable nature of most of the patches in 2024, we have had more new features brought online this year than any previous year I can think of. Maybe I'm forgetting one, but it has been a big year for new features and development. I think 2025 will be even bigger. My guess is we're going to have more than just Pyro coming in 2025 with more systems being worked on. I think that we just need to kind of tough out all the issues that we're seeing and go from there. So what can you do to enjoy the game more? Join a group. Orgs don't necessarily matter in-game yet, but they're going to be integrated from the website to the game soon. It's people to fly with, rescue you, protect you, make missions more fun, practice things like boarding. Honestly, as much as I love solo games, I loved Starfield, I loved Star Wars Outlaws, I love No Man's Sky, which is basically a single-player game. This game is better with other people, hands down. So find a group. Find some guys in global chat, local chat, whatever. Go join our Discord, fly with us. Find people who are willing to do this stuff with you, because the last thing you want to do is fly all the way out to a mission, find out it's broken, get incapped by the wind, and have to wait for some stranger to pick you up. It's a lot easier to avoid bugs and issues if you have people with you in this game, if you have a crew. Just find people who, if you prefer to fly alone, who are just chill with you flying alone sometimes, but are there to help you if you need it, which, I'm happy to help. That's it. That's all I got. That's, 10-minute video? Recap of a couple of things. I know I've been making less of these lately. I've been feeling a little uninspired with the game. I've committed to my org and my crew and my friends who watch these regularly to kind of just force myself to make them. The next few will be how to loot with the new broken loot system, how to salvage in a group, a couple of live streams. Really appreciate everyone tuning in and following and subscribing and all that stuff. Feel free to comment. Let me know if you have questions. Jump in Discord, ask them there. Very happy to help new people learn their way in the verse. For now, I'll catch you guys later, and as always, fly safe.